Alex Jones lost his case and he's going to pay almost $50 million in damages. All right. So there were polls. Farron Cousins had ran one. Is he paying too much, too little, or is this fair? Overwhelming, he's paying too little. And that's what I thought, paying too little. Why? Because I got a little girl. And it wouldn't matter how old she is. The truth is, that's a pain that I don't ever want to experience in losing her. I can't handle it. And I know I can't. Imagine how these parents felt losing their child or children, and then someone going out there and saying, you're making it up. It's in your head, gaslighting them. Imagine how that feels. Then add on top of that the death threats they got for fighting back against such accusations. Just think about that. Something bad happens to you, and then when you say, no, this happened, and someone says, no, it didn't, that didn't happen, and you tell them it did happen, you can prove that it happened, and then people that like them say that you should die, that they can't wait to find and kill you. Just imagine that. It sounds almost crazy. But look, Alex Jones is a guy that legitimately played the right game, but he didn't know when to just put the game up and let it rest. He didn't know. Alex Jones, this is not in defense of Alex Jones. This is pretty much an indictment on society. I just want y'all to know something. Alex Jones used to be a conspiracy theorist that spoke about aliens, the right-wing conspiracy people covering it up and stuff like that. He was very, progressive at one point, very liberal at one point. He was that guy. And then he just sort of went away. Then he comes back and he tested the waters. He started talking about how the liberals were terrible people, how the Democrats aren't helping. What he did was he told the truth. I want y'all to keep this in mind. He told the truth in general, that the Democrats aren't doing anything. They're not helping. They're blocking progress in the country. But he had no right-wing slant at the time. He talked about how there's no progressive action, that there's no one to help you with your bills, no one to help you with your medicines, and how the corporations are allowed to price gouge for everything. And this was years ago. I want y'all to keep that in mind, because then what happened was a shift of crazies. And it really took off with Obama. Obama isn't the one that did it, but when Obama became president-elect, that's when all of the crazies says, I am no longer doing this, because they wanted Senator McCain to take off the gloves and say what they want him to say. And he was like, I'm not going to do that. When they tried to demonize Obama as a Muslim terrorist from Al-Qaeda and whatnot that lived in Kenya, he was like, no, he didn't allow any of that. People were angry. And Alex Jones started taking at the helm, going with the birther thing that Hillary Clinton started. The whole birther thing. That wasn't a Republican thing. Hillary mentioned it, and the Republicans just grabbed that bull by the horns, man. That's what happened. And so what did Alex Jones do? He doubled down on that. And what did he get? He wasn't called a loon anymore. He wasn't ignored anymore. No. Once he started pointing out Democrats being at fault, people started listening for some reason. And now that he was against Obama, they really started listening. And then after Obama, we've got Trump. We've got all this. Yes. So when Sandy Hook happened, when anything else happened, he calls it a conspiracy against gun manufacturers, a conspiracy against the Second Amendment. He tells them that that they're lying, that they're actors, they're paid actors, they're characters. They never lost children. Anything to protect the Second Amendment, anything to bolster Republicans, and anything to demonize the alleged left. It's hard to find left-wing people, just keeping it real. It's hard. But once he did that, he got the views, he got the notoriety, he got people listening. You say what we think, what we already believe, so they poured money into him. So he made fortunes off of this because he knew the climate of the people. Capitalism says, do what it takes to make more money. That's it. That's what capitalism is in general. Do what it takes to make more money. Yeah, there's positive capitalism, there's negative capitalism, and then there's that crazy, crony capitalism, which is when it becomes basically an oligarch. So Alex Jones simply played the game. He listened to the audience. He did what he needed to do. He didn't hold back. He kept playing, rolling them dice, moving them pieces, and he's winning. He keeps winning. He was playing Monopoly and had everything and kept inviting people over just so they could sit down to a board that he already controls. And that's what happened. And someone said, you know something, you ain't gonna do this to us. You're not. You have caused us a lot of damage and everything else. And so they got him. It took some time, but they got him. Did they get him for enough? In my opinion, no. Matter of fact, it's not even it's not even opinion. That's the truth. No, they didn't pop him for enough. This man incited mobs of people sending death threats. He incited the ability for people to literally tell others they do not deserve to live because they're defending their sorrows. Just keep that in mind, all right? Keep that in mind when you think about Alex Jones and any Republican stuff that's going on. Because when it comes to people that's sending death threats, to people that's lost others to death prematurely, might I add, it's only Republicans that's doing it. It's just them. If you don't want to be cited as such and you find it offensive to be said that you're the one doing this and doing that, think about it. Think about it. Think about what you're joined with and think about the things you've done. Because we certainly don't want to be the people that, watch you go out, and we don't want to be this audience that watch you go out and, in a rioting kind of way, go after people in a murderous, abductive kind of way, holding the flags of Confederacy and Donald Trump and the United States, and then later say it wasn't you, even though it was nothing but you out there. And when someone dies leading your cause, going head first and die for your cause, and then you say they weren't with you. That's the Republican Party. That's your actions. And to be able to deny that, if you can, you should not be able to vote at all. That's how I see about that. So, thank you for listening.